area which recorded 41 millimetres of rain for the week, while Makhanda received 49 millimetres and Cradock 37. Our reporter Abongile Jantjies is at Fort Cox. Good afternoon, Abongile. What's happening where you are?
Good afternoon to you too, Nompu. Well, we're coming from the Mhlaba municipality in the town of Middledrift, under the Amatole district municipality, which has been rocked by drought and affecting residents tremendously. Well, today the Department of Rural Development in the province is here to give out a large number of feeds to assist the farmers. While farmers here say they are not really getting much assistance from government, as they say that their livestock is dying in their hands. But to tell us more, I'm now joined by one of the farmers, Mhlobo Mbane. Sir, thanks for your time and thank you for joining us.
Farmers in South Africa. Let me actually greet the farmers in South Africa.
How has this drought affected you as a farmer?
It has actually affected us in a bad way because ever since it started in 2015, many farmers have lost their animals, their livestock. Even the chicken farmers have been also affected because of the rain. The water is not actually flowing in the rivers. So we have been receiving a little support, but now we are actually happy that the department has brought a first tranche of 57 tons of the feed, which is going to be very helpful to us as farmers. But the impact of the drought is really bad. We actually even advise our government to sort of assist us in terms of fodder banks, like we can use the institution such as the Fort Cox to plant the feed for the next coming few years. We also advise government to actually, collaborate with the other departments, because you'll find that there is no collaboration or there is no communication between the government departments. But now we are really happy that we have received something that is going to be helping us. Most of our farmers have lost between 8 to 12 animals, which is really bad. Just remember, if a family was actually surviving through the income that is generated from those cattle, it's quite a loss. People that were sent to universities, kids that were sent to school, it's going to be just a chaotic thing. Now we say to government, we need to actually focus especially in the area of Rainfall Mhlaba, because it has been predicted, I think 3 years back, whereby we said we need fodder banks because the drought is actually coming, and especially looking at the climate change. But we have since achieved we've made a little progress in terms of having those plans, implementing what we actually agreed on. That was 3 years back. Now we are happy that we've got a government on board, especially the MEC. We had an engagement this morning whereby we tabled our plans. We need fodder banks, we need dams to be scooped. Just imagine, yesterday we had 60 millimetres of rain. That water actually went down to the river, of which if we had dams, it was going to be really helpful for us to save water. Even if it's going to be the last rain, at least we can retain a little bit of water so that we can have our animals drinking.
The department has been preaching that you must find alternative ways to save your cattle, maybe by selling them. Are you keen as farmers for that?
We are not really keen, because you cannot actually sell an animal that is not in a good condition. For example, we had farmers that went to another stock sale. It was in December. People were preparing to just generate income so that they can actually send their kids to school. Farmers were actually offered 1,500. Of which during the good times you will find that cattle are ranging, the prices are ranging between 6,000 to 7,000. But now last year, we cannot actually take our animals for sale, 1,500. It's not even a goat, because a goat, I'm actually selling them between 2,000 and 3,000 per animal. Now we are really happy that at least something has been brought on board, although it's a little bit. But we also, when we do an introspection, coming to us as farmers, we also need to plan, because the problem that we have in the province, we don't have institutions, financial institutions that can actually assist us to establish our own fodder banks, our own businesses. We solely rely on government. Hence, we actually appreciate that little that we have actually received. If we can have financing institutions that can assist us to establish our fodder banks, and we've got 3 rivers that are flowing, perennial rivers here just in Rainfall Mhlaba. It's like an embarrassment whereby we say we have drought whilst we have rivers that we can actually use to irrigate our rivers, our fields, so that we can actually produce the fodder. So if we can have those private institutions that can actually assist us partner with them as well as the Department of Agriculture and other departments so that we can actually have something that is actually going on. We are willing as farmers to invest money on that, but when it comes to infrastructure, it becomes a burden to us as farmers. Just imagine when you are going to invest something that is not going to generate money within 6 months. Like infrastructure, it takes 5 years. So for me as a small-scale farmer to invest in an infrastructure, it's going to be a little bit of a challenge for me. But if government can actually come on board, invest on infrastructure, then when it comes to working capital and the production loans, it's going to be assisting and very helpful to us.
In terms of education as farmers here, in terms of breeding cattle, are you breeding cattle that's well within to deal with this drought?
We need to change focus now because the breeds that we have, we don't think they are ready or they are suitable for this climate change. We need to be advised or to be equipped by the department in terms of providing just basic skills training so that we can actually make good choices when you are changing or choosing the right breeds for this area, because according to prediction this drought is going to be with us forever. Now we don't want to farm with the breeds that are not very strong. We need those that, for example, Danguni was another preferred animal that we can actually use, but because of the weight the farmers were not happy with that one. We need bigger breeds that will be sustainable or that will be suitable for these areas of ours in the Eastern Cape, especially in Raymond and Mhlaba.
So are you prepared to see your cattle dying in front of you instead of selling it and make some sort of money?
Yes, because keeping an animal for a period of 7 years only to generate 1,500 in income, it's a mockery to us as farmers. Hence we said we'd rather keep our animals and try do our little best, anything that we can actually, just to make them survive. Because just selling them to those people that will be fattening them and then sell them back to us, it's just a mockery when you have a cattle that you can sell for 1,500.
In terms of rain, when was the last time did a significant amount pour in this area?
It was before June last year. I think it was around March. Even then, it was between 40 millimeters. For example, yesterday, at least it was better because before winter, we received 60 millimeters and we still have more months that are coming, meaning we'll get more rain. Last year, it was really bad. But this, starting from November, it was really bad, whereby when you are driving just along the road, the cattle are actually dying. You see, it's just a mess. And even on the dams, you find that there is nothing that is actually on the water. On the dams, there's clean. There's nothing. Even on the rivers, you will find that even the river, we're having these kind of green things, whereby we were even concerned about the health issues of just our community. So it's really bad.
In terms of cattle that is seen on the roads, those cattle endanger the lives of motorists. What are you doing as farmers in this community to prevent them from going to the roads and being taken for?
We tried our best, because you'll find that next to the roads the grass is actually green. Even if you try to keep your animals away from the road, at night when you are sleeping, they will break the crawls. And even as farmers, when you see the cattle actually grazing along the road, yes, it puts people's lives at danger. But for us as farmers and also cattle that you can see, it's something that is actually going to generate income at the end of the day. You don't know what to do as a farmer. And you find that even those cattle, they actually die just on the road because they are looking for that greener grass, of which there is nothing we can do. But at least if the rain comes now, definitely the cattle will actually move away from the road. Really, we have lost a lot of people when it comes to accidents and other things that are happening on the road. But the cattle at night, they will jump over the fence and then they actually graze over there.
What are you doing to prevent that, as you as a cattle owner and taking responsibility for your cattle?
We actually keep them in the crawls. That's the only best thing that we can actually do. But sometimes driving a cattle that you see it's very weak for a period of 2 kilometers, for a distance of 2 kilometers, you rather keep it there because it's going to be using a lot of energy. But when it wakes up, let's say after you have left, it actually goes back to that greener area which is next to the road. Sometimes even if you are trying to actually drive it, saying you want to keep it in the crawl, it doesn't work. You leave it there. When it wakes up in the morning or in the evening, it just goes back to that area where there's a green grass. So for us, it was just a dilemma as farmers.
Going forward, what are you hoping for in terms of this drought? And there's been an interministerial team that's been set to address this drought. Going forward, what are you hoping for in terms of that?
Capacitating the farmers in terms of having their own fodder banks, dam scoping, that's something that we need to actually not to be planning about to do. It's something that we need to immediately sort of implement. It's something that is going to be helping us a lasting solution. That's the only thing that I can actually say. But when it comes to other things, the departments, we want them to coordinate. We want to see them working together in terms of addressing this issue that is actually affecting us.
Sir, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you very much.
Well, there you have it, Nompu, one of the farmers, Mhlobo Mbane, from the Raymond Mhlaba municipality in Middledrift, explaining their challenges that they are facing per day. That the whole province of the Eastern Cape was declared a disaster area, and it's currently enjoying a disaster status. And the provincial government has said that it will reapply for another disaster status when this one expires. From us here in Raymond Mhlaba, it's back to you in studio.
Thanks very much for that, Abongile. We continue to